Hey Reject Nation, how you doing? Greg here.
Andrew here.
From the Movie Source channel, my close friend Andrew Gordon here with us today. I thought this would be fun. Andrew has recently binge watched all the MCU films.
And I did it in chronological order too, Greg. Say it right now.
Oh, chronological? So you started with Cap?
I started with Captain America, the First Avenger, and then on every single flashback clip, I'd go from movie to movie. No, I'm just kidding. I kept it relative, like in the presence of the story, you know, where that takes place. I went in chronological order. I did start with Captain America, the First Avenger. I worked all the way up to Thor Ragnarok. I couldn't do Black Panther because it was in theaters. I mean, I just recently saw it, so I guess I counted that. But everything else I did.
We do this segment now called Trailers Revisited. And for you guys who don't know what we do here, it's pretty simple. It's pretty much in the title. We determine how accurately portrayed a movie is based off the trailer that came out. Tone, if it's spoilerific, whatnot. A lot of requests came in for Age of Ultron.
I wonder why. Is there an Avengers movie?
Avengers movie. It's relevant. Okay. Andrew, let's check out the first trailer for Age of Ultron.
All right, let's do it.
It's called teaser, but it's also like the official trailer because
yeah,
2
normally
minutes and
teasers
16...
are 2 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful.
You'll never see me coming.
Everyone screaming for mercy.
Vibranium.
You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets. Tangled in strings.
Damn.
So much darker than the movie.
Pinocchio.
This looks like a dark psychological war epic.
It's the end of the path I started us on.
Nothing lasts forever.
Ooh. Yeah.
That was exciting when we first saw that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh. Yeah.
Woo!
Oh.
There are no strings on me.
God, I wish we got that movie.
Yeah, right.
That just seems so intense.
That seems so epic and awesome. Dark. Yeah, I'm watching this trailer. It makes me laugh because this ain't the vibe of the movie.
I mean, there's definitely some moments of panic. Obviously, spoiler alert.
There's gonna be
have not
much of
seen
spoilers.
Age of Ultron, which I'm pretty sure most of you people have. But yeah, no, in Age of Ultron, obviously we get an end of the world scenario that we're being told and shown that's happening with Sokovia falling. But the tone of the movie is very jokey and
everyone's quippy as hell. And even Ultron.
I think the fundamental issue. I mean, I just rewatched Age of Ultron. I still enjoyed it. I think the team camaraderie is there. Like Joss Whedon nails the Avengers. He gets it. But in terms of this movie and what this trailer's telling me is that Ultron, he's going to be impossible to beat. And basically, you know, what they're showing us here again is they have never seen anything like this threat level. And then when you see Ultron in the film, I mean, he's not that menacing. He jokes a lot more, which I do like the humor in the film. But that's the fundamental flaw in the movie that Joss Whedon messed up was Ultron. Like he never felt this menacing throughout the film. I never felt for a moment he was going to beat the Avengers. Not once.
He seemed like, basically off this trailer, it feels like it's going to be like a philosophical villain that's going to kind of challenge the whole morale of what it means to be a superhero.
I'm gonna show you something beautiful. Everyone screaming for mercy. You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. You're all puppets tangled in strings.
The stakes feel even higher in the trailer
Than the movie.
than the actual movie. One thing that Age of Ultron does suffer from, because don't get me wrong, the first time I saw Age of Ultron, I didn't really care for it. I watched it again a second time later on, and I actually enjoyed it more, but I still saw plenty of its flaws. It still is way too compact. With the film being compact and having a lot of unnecessary stuff, like even in the trailer you get hints of it. It's weird because when you watch the movie, it feels unnecessary, some of the things that take place here. They got teases of the ballet scene and then the gurney of Black Widow's past. You got Thor coming out of the water, which doesn't really play in even into the later films. That's just all set up for a future installment. And then you even got the shot of like Cap's shield all destroyed. It looks like he's dead. Another moment in the trailer that plays for a good trailer. But when you watch the movie, you're like, oh, none of that really matters, actually. That's just a
nightmare sequence. But yeah, no, but I think one of the things that I loved in this trailer were the facial expressions. A lot like from, you know, Bruce Banner. You see like on his face how dark and like how he's really struggling with being the Hulk, and like how you can tell like possibly she gave him a nightmare visions. I really believe that facial expressions can be so powerful in scenes that, you know, just driving what the characters are really feeling as opposed to just giving us a bunch of dialogue and exposition. And I think that's what sells the darkness of this trailer is so many of the facial expressions.
Yeah, the images they get, the right images they get. It's just doesn't really capture.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I would have loved, tonally, I would have loved this film.
I think it would have been cool to get a fun Avengers, exciting first movie, the Marvel's Avengers Assemble.
And this one beyond dark.
And then this one is like really dark with humor within its character.
And we're not saying dark automatically just fixes the film. Tonally, like this really works from this trailer.
Especially with the way the visual cinematography is, it looked like it would be a dark film, you know? Whereas the first Avengers has a much brighter look about it.
Yeah, that's got more, even though it is, again, end of the world scenario, it's got more of a fun vibe.
Yeah, which is appropriate for your first mashup movie. One thing this trailer also does, too, is it has this vibe that, oh man, the Avengers are all turning on each other, which does kind of happen in the movie, because I like that the movie starts off where they're all already a team that's assembled and they kind of fall apart a little bit towards the end of the movie, especially with the Hulk. In terms of the tone, though, everything about this is the tone, the dread, the worry, the fear. None of that's really present in the actual film itself. If the movie was more like this, like, you could still have humor within the context of its characters and their dialogue and whatever, but if it felt a little bit more focused and grounded, because this communicates a rather simple premise. Ultron's created and he means to take over and destroy the Avengers, and the Avengers have to unite, but it's becoming a very perilous and dangerous journey. Even like the Hulkbuster versus Iron Man scene is played out in the trailer as this like heavy, weighty, dramatic moment. But when you watch that scene, it's more like, this is fun and cool, and Tony Stark still being funny, like when he's punching him.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to
sleep.
Go to sleep, go to sleep.
A lot of this stuff just plays out fun. What this movie could have used is some dramatic weight.
I think you got a major point. Like, when you rewatch the Battle of Sokovia, it's quip after quip.
You'll never...
You never what? You didn't finish! What, were you napping?
You guys know this is the end of the world, right? I mean, look, you should have a little humor before you die. I'm with you, but if it's every single scene, like, let's outquip the other person in like moments where we are about to die. You want action scenes to be emotionally driven, not quip driven.
Yeah, Ultron does not really have that sense of menace that we all thought, like this, like, philosophical Terminator. I think that's probably the biggest letdown, is how Ultron was handled, because in this trailer, you're like, oh my god, the greatest MCU villain is gonna come, like, at this point.
Yeah, I think you really just nailed it there. Like, when you rewatch the Terminator, the first one from '84, when you rewatch Terminator 2 Judgment Day, you rewatch Die Hard, you watch these characters fighting these villains, you're like, how the hell is the hero supposed to defeat the villain in this situation? And again, throughout the film, I never felt that vibe and felt that sense, and that's what you have to have in Avengers films, because that's why they're all coming together. It's got to be end of the world and threat level menacing, and that's a big deal, is that tone, that feel.
Tone. Like, the trailer is not spoiler filled, which is cool.
I mean, it does have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver working with Ultron, but it's not...
That's part of the early part of the plot, though, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they don't reveal what the death of Quicksilver. Watching this trailer, trailer is interesting because the way they set up Ultron is kind of similar to how I feel like Thanos is being set up. You know, he wants to take over. He's going to kill the Avengers. He's a philosophical type of villain. I'm really hoping it is that we don't watch Infinity War and Thanos is just like a funny ass dude the whole time. The Russo brothers are totally different kinds of filmmakers than Joss Whedon is.
Yes.
I imagine Infinity War will actually honor that darkness.
I hope so. I mean,
the Russo brothers Avengers movies have not exactly been like
dude,
the most upbeat films.
Dude, if it's not, then you and I are bringing the Kleenexes into the movie for no reason, I guess, right?
All right, guys. Well, that's our trailers revisited for Age of Ultron.
Check it out if you haven't.
Check it out if you haven't. If not, we've ruined a good amount of the movie for you.
Sorry, guys.
What other trailers do you think would be worth revisiting right now? I mean, we do this weekly, so please leave your comments down below. Andrew, thank you for being here. You guys can check out Andrew on the Movie Source channel. Fantastic YouTube channel. Seriously, guys, go check it out. You can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Click that notification bell so the subscribe button means something. And check out our Patreon. Got full-length TV show reactions over there, weekly Q&As. Would love to have you become a Patronaject today. All goes to support the channel. Thank you, people.